Hey y'all, it's Carolyn, and coming back to you with a Goodwill Goodwill outlet haul. I went today and I spent $28. I always round up to help support their mission. So it was like 27 and some change, and I rounded up to 28. So I'm going to show you real quick what I got. I got about 10 different VHS tapes. I know a lot of people think it's a dead media type, but it sells for me, so I still buy it. And I found a bunch that were sealed and brand new. So this one, I'm going to cover up the middle section. It's a risque little movie that is apparently unrated and out of print. So I think I can probably get $75 for that particular VHS, which will pay for everything that I got today plus some. So it's just icing on the cake. So I'll show you the rest of what I got. Nothing super exciting, but it's all profitable. So I found some vintage drawer pulls. I don't know if you can see those. I recently sold 37 vintage drawer pulls to South Korea, and they paid a lot of money, not only for the products, but also to have them shipped to South Korea. So I don't know if there is a mid-century modern rush going on there, but it's definitely something to be on the lookout for. A bolo is old brass hardware for cabinets and drawer pulls. And I should also introduce this guy right here. This is my 14-year-old son, Landon. We're going to talk to him in a second. He has his own online business, reselling, so he's getting started very young. So we'll be talking to him in a second. Welcome. Okay, so the rest of the haul here. I found this little guy. He is a little wooden crocodile, alligator kind of thing, and he wobbles back and forth. Really no reason other than I thought it was super cool. And my kids will either play with it or I'll sell it. So I got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different books, including this super cool Indiana School Arithmetic's primary book, and it was printed in 1919, so it's over 100 years old. It was 31 cents originally, so I thought this was super cool. It's over 100 years old. I got a couple of them. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or sell them. I'll probably hang on to them for a while. I got a Marlboro cookbook because nothing says I'm hungry and need a recipe like a good old cigarette. But that actually does sell, I think, for about $20. Marlboro, Cool, Camel, the cigarette advertising or the free stuff that you used to earn with points, that actually has pretty decent resale value depending on what you can find. Interesting. I got this answering machine, GE answering machine, and it takes those little micro tapes, and I haven't plugged it up yet, but it does sell. I don't know why people would use it, except maybe because it's vintage and they want to be cool and have the old school answering machines at their house. I don't know. Also, I got this plush. What is this, Landon? Is this a lion or a tiger?
That's it.
Is that a tiger, right?
Yeah.
This is from, I don't know. Oh, no, there it is. No, surely not. It says 1968, but I don't think this is a 1968 plush. I don't know what that is, but It's definitely cool. Made in Korea, so it is old, but surely that's not from 1968. Either way, it'll sell. It's pretty cool. Throw that down there. I watch a lady named Star. She has a channel called Flippin' Hippos, and they do a lot of plush over there. And that's where I've learned the different brands that are more profitable. And, you know, she always says you want to look for unusual animals. So not necessarily like dogs and cats and real common stuff. You want to look for animals that are a little more unusual. They're a little more profitable. I found 2 clothing items today. I try to stay away from the clothing bins. I was singing that Resist Satan song from Vacation Bible School. If y'all don't know that one, I'll do it on another video. Just let me know. But I did find a couple things I just had to get. This is Climate Zone. It's just a little Aztec fleece jacket. It's got those really cool buttons, you know, with the little knob that goes in the hole there. And it does have shoulder pads. It's got a hood. It's vintage, but I don't know how vintage. I just thought the print was really nice. I think it'll show up great in pictures. So I went ahead and picked that up. And then I got these Levi silver tab jeans, which I think, you know, I went to high school in the 90s. And I think this was pretty popular then. So you see the guys wearing the silver tabs. And these are pretty old. They've got some wear around the pockets, but I think that just adds to the vintage appeal. So I think we're okay there. Vera Bradley, because Vera Bradley is based out of Indiana, you find literally tons and tons of Vera Bradley at the bins. So I pick them up, and when I get 10 or so, I'll do a Vera Bradley lot. They don't weigh much because they're just like a quilted material. But you know, you can get $50 for a lot and it weighs nothing. So that's something I always keep an eye out. That might just be kind of an Indiana thing. Found this little blue bonnet, Sue. She did have a tag from 1986. And she's cute. She's got a couple spots. I'll need to spot clean her before I sell that. I didn't look up comps, but I figured any kind of advertising material from the 80s, you know, it'll make $10, $15 at the very least, maybe more. Got a remote control. Something to look for when you're looking at remote controls is the battery area. You want to make sure that there's no corrosion, that they look like they're intact. And you can test them with your cell phone. Put some batteries in there and check it out. I sell those fairly often.
Yeah.
I got some vintage ornaments. This one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Merry Christmas Dudes, and some Snoopy ornaments, and a Precious Moments ornament. It's a ceramic. This one is from 1988. So, thought that was neat. I did get a couple of garment bags. They're from Chico's. They're nothing super exciting, but they're nice to have when you sell locally, like formal dresses or like a pantsuit or something like that. Or when you travel, they're nice to just throw some items in there. Chico's, Nordstrom, and I think that's it. They don't weigh anything. So it was just something else that I added into the mix. And then this is the only thing that I got that is not typically something I would pick up. But it's just this little metal dish. It's got the alphabet and numbers. It is marked on the back. It says York, Pennsylvania. It's got something else, but it's rubbed really, really thin. But I'll have to do some more research on that to see what it is. But I just thought with my cousin being a teacher, it'd be cute on her desk. She could throw whatever, change. Chalk. Do they even use chalk? I don't know. But if they use chalk, it'd be a cute little chalk holder. So, Jessie, that one's coming to you. All right. that's it. That's my haul. It's just a lot of profit, especially with that expensive VHS tape that I found. I think I'll get 75 for that alone. So I might even mark it for like 90 because there's no new tapes. There's only used and I think a broken tape that's posted for like $20. So great finds today. All right, so now we're going to talk to Landon. You want to tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Landon Gaines. I go to St. Xavier High School in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, good Lord, don't give them our address. Go ahead.
I go to St. Xavier High School in Louisville, Kentucky, and I am a freshman.
Freshman. Awesome. So you started your reselling journey how long ago?
Almost a year. It's been
year?
like 9 months.
Okay. So you've been reselling online for almost a year. What are some of the platforms that you use?
I use Mercari, Poshmark, eBay. That's about it.
Do you do Depop?
Sometimes Depop. I haven't really sold anything on that though.
Well, and another app that he uses quite a bit is StockX. We haven't sold on there, but he'll use it to research if it's a good pickup for the brand or the type of shoe. You making fun because I said pickup?
Yeah.
Is it a good pickup? I don't know. Check StockX. All right. What is your best flip to date?
I think it was probably like 3 weeks ago. We went to the bins at like 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, and I found that vintage starter Kentucky jacket. Sold it for $65.
So I think at all of the bins that I've ever been to, which is just in Indiana, I think. No, we've been in Ohio as well. There are typically people there who do nothing but vintage. And I know at our local bins, there's probably a group of 10, 15 people, guys and girls, and they are vintage hunters. And I mean, they go through those bins quick, and they can look and see that something's vintage before they even get to touch it or check the tag. So we happened to go in there one night, and there was something going on in Lexington, Kentucky, that was like a vintage expo or something. So all the vintage people were down there in Lexington, and there were no vintage hunters at our bins. So Landon went through, and I mean, he racked up. He kept coming over and showing me, and I'd be like, oh my God, that is a straight from the 90s starter jacket in excellent condition. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, you got a couple of things you can show us?
Hold them up for the camera, bro.
Sure. Tell us about what you found.
Keep in mind, this was all on the same day, too. So, all of this was stuff that I found when I found the starter jacket. I quickly saw the tag on this one, and I was, like, amazed by it because I'd never seen Champion that was that old.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
And plus the paper tag, it's like paper and stuff like that.
So that's how you would tell that it's vintage if it has a paper tag?
Yeah.
And are they typically, where are they made?
Usually USA.
Okay, so those are some tips to look for in vintage. They're paper tag and made in the USA. Okay.
This was also on the same day.
This, you really have to see that tag. So you researched this, and this is from the 80s, right?
Yeah.
This is Adidas from the 80s. So this is really during the Run DMC. If you remember them always wearing the Adidas track suits, that would be from the heyday of Adidas.
Hard Rock Cafe collection.
Okay. So he's really lucky with the Hard Rock Cafe.
There's a lot more, but this is just a handful.
So this is Paris.
This one's Sydney.
Sydney. Very cool.
That's
double-sided.
Yeah, this one's probably the coolest though.
Oh yeah, definitely. New Orleans, which is great because it's Mardi Gras time. I think that's really nice. And this is vintage because it's made in the USA. It's got the old tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay.
This one's made in the USA, and it's also single stitched.
Tell the people at home what single stitch means.
So hold that up. If you look at the sleeve, usually it'll be double stitched because that's more modern. But if it's single stitch, that's definitely vintage.
Yes. So this is, if you can see, that's a double stitch. I'm trying to get it to where it shows. Yeah. That's a double stitch, and that's normally going to be, on all the t-shirts that you buy today, they're double stitched. Single stitch usually gives you some type of indication that it's older. And this one I love because it's from the Oprah Winfrey Show. Super cool. Old Fruit of the Loom tag too.
This one's pretty cool, but it doesn't have the tag. But it is single stitched. New Kids on the Block.
Gosh, this NKOTB. You guys see that? It's got a front and back graphic from 1990. 1990. I think I was in middle school. Whoo-hoo. Oh God, I loved New Kids on the Block. My favorite, well, I started out liking Danny. He was the first one that I liked. So there's Danny right there in the middle. Can you guys see that? There's Danny. And then as time went on, I sort of fell in love with Donnie because he was the bad boy. He got into some trouble in Louisville when they were touring, setting a hotel on fire or something. I don't know, but yeah, I was a big fan. Awesome. Is there something that you have found when you've been thrifting that you feel like is a bad buy? Like, I shouldn't have got that.
In a way, I guess you could say that. There was like several times where you would find like say vintage, like any sports team. Like I found like a vintage like Cleveland Brown shirt, but the thing about it is like it was almost too modern and not enough like vintage in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
If something's like 2000s, like early 2000s, then I would get it, but if it's past, I'd say probably 2007, I wouldn't get it.
So to be considered vintage, something has to be 20 years old. So now officially things from the 2000 is vintage. So if I would have kept all of my clothes from high school, we would be rich. So if I have any high school friends out there that still have their whole wardrobes at their family homes, holla at your girl, because we will come over there and get all of it. Right?
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions for other young people, teenagers that might be interested in getting started reselling online?
At first, it might be a little bit frustrating and like confusing, but once you start doing it more and more, it gets easier, and plus, it's like it doesn't really have a lot of stress. I don't know. It doesn't really like affect me that much. It takes a little bit to take pictures and stuff and list them, but that's about it.
Awesome. So if they want to follow you on Poshmark, what is your closet name?
That's a great question.
Well, I tell you what, I'll link it.
Link it. There you
Link it. He's got to teach me all this lingo. I'll link it in the comments. I'll link it in the description below. Because you know what? He don't have to dance. He's making money moves. All right, y'all. So that's it. That's all we have for you today. Doesn't matter how old or how young you are. You can do this. Start in your house. Find things that you don't want anymore that are taking up space, that aren't bringing you joy anymore, and sell them. Make a little extra money. Put that money towards your vacation. Put it toward Christmas if you want to start a Christmas fund. Do whatever. Treat yourself for an evening out. Anybody can do this. It's fun, it's rewarding, and it's exciting to see what you're able to do when you sell online. Landon, he's a little entrepreneur. He's going to surpass me, I have a feeling, as far as his online sales. He's getting an early start on this. So he's one to watch for sure. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay, guys. Thanks. Until next time. Bye, y'all.